of what will be a diamond-shaped hand cross. This method of casting metal was used by the Egyptians 4,500 years ago. In Ethiopia, the technique has been handed down from generation to generation. The other bits are joined to the center square. These are called the finials. The handle is modeled separately. Soft clay is prepared by one of the girls. It is mixed with shredded sacking. The wax model is now covered with clay. All the little spaces are carefully filled in. Curious to think that in Ethiopia, all kinds of craftsmanship were considered low-class activities in the past. People who worked with their hands were looked down on, so the originality and achievements of the cross makers is all the more remarkable. Finally, the wax model is completely encased with clay. A hole is left in the bottom to allow the wax to escape. After being left to dry in the sun, the clay-covered wax cross is placed in the forge. The clay is baked hard. Bellows made of sheepskin are used. The wax cross, which was inside the clay, melts away through the channel left for this purpose. The crossmaker has to be sure that all the wax has melted away. Scraps of metal are put into the crucible. Used shell cases are a common ingredient. They are in plentiful supply since the military came to power. The shell cases are mixed with pieces of zinc and other base metals like tin. The alloy varies. The crucible is placed in the forge. It takes a lot of hard work before the melting point of the metals is reached. This boy worked non-stop for 2 hours before the metal melted. A piece of zinc is added at the end. The crucible is taken out of the forge. The molten metal is poured in through the channel in the clay molds. A number have already been prepared. The metal runs into all the little spaces where the wax models were. The brass cross is revealed with its rough edges and other imperfections. The cross is filed smooth. The quality of the finished cross depends on the care taken in filing and in decorating it. Few of these crosses are intended for use in churches. Most of them are bound for the market, although special orders will be placed from time to time when the villagers club together to present the local priest with a new cross. One member of the family files crosses while another decorates them. Lines are incised and little circles are stamped on the surface. In the olden days, more elaborate decoration was attempted, but present-day craftsmen work faster and are less ambitious. When the handle has been fixed on, the cross is ready to be consecrated in church or to be bargained over in the market. Dealers do good business in Lalibela market. In this part of the country, everyone wears a neck cross or has a pattern tattooed on the forehead. For a long period, the Christian Highlanders fought with the people of the lowlands. In about 1450, Emperor Zara Jacob issued a decree.
In order not to be confused with the enemy, every Ethiopian will henceforth wear a cross suspended at the neck. The poor, those who do not have the means to buy themselves one, can wear a blue ribbon around their necks.
From the time of Zara Jacob, Ethiopians made large numbers of neck crosses in an infinite variety of forms. Pierre Petrides pioneered the study of crosses and is the leading authority on the subject. These are some of his beautiful and rare long-stemmed crosses found only in Ethiopia. Some people argue that certain designs were influenced by the Coptic Egyptians or the Portuguese, but in Ethiopia there are many original forms and designs which resemble no others. Petrides estimates them as more than 200. These round crosses were made by the newly Christianized peoples of southern Ethiopia. The circular shapes suggest that they haven't forgotten their moon and sun worship. The Star of David, also known as the Solomonic cross, was originally worn by royalty. This is a model of the oldest Ethiopian cross, which can be dated with certainty. King Tantautem, who reigned between 980 and 1020 AD, gave it to a church, the inscription says. This cross, with the classic Lalibela form, dates from the 10th or 11th century. It was nearly lost, like so many others, when a church was burned by invading Muslims. It's been slightly damaged by fire.